What's up, everyone? I am Javi Moreno. Welcome to And People Stayed Home, a project that we created during the start of actually COVID-19 and the quarantine. Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Armando Lou, can you hear me? All right, you can hear me. Just want to make sure because I'm known to do some muted poetry. So tonight it's our culmination performance. It's a pre-recorded culmination performance of our spoken word program. And about 4 or 5 weeks we met during the quarantine with youth from Legacy L.A. and Company of Angels through Zoom. And tonight is their culmination performance. And to kick things off, I'm going to introduce Armando Molina, Artistic Director of Company of Angels, and Luca Lanche, Executive Director of Legacy L.A. Hello.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hey, I just want to say a couple of words about Company of Angels, really quickly. The company was founded a very long time ago, 1959, by Leonard Nimoy and other TV luminaries. And flash forward to 2005-06, when I was asked to run the organization as artistic director. I saw that it was an opportunity to really reflect and respond to the city as demographics. And we do theater for by LA and for LA by Los Angelinos, and we were in different locations for over the years, but last few years we've been at Legacy LA. Luca Lanche has graciously given us a home for which we can present our work and work very closely with the community and the constituents of Legacy LA. And I also want a shout out to Department of Cultural Affairs for supporting this project, and they've supported it for many years. And I want to hand it off to Luca Lanche for more about Legacy LA.
Hey, Armando, how are you doing?
Hey,
Armando and I are neighbors, but we haven't seen each other.
I know, COVID's terrible that way.
Yes, during quarantine, I miss you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone out there, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching our show today. We're so excited. As you know, Legacy LA youth are pretty amazing kids. Most of our kids live in Ramona Gardens and the surrounding area. And we're so happy to partner with Company of Angels, having our own theater space and having programs where youth can learn to perform and learn to write and to express themselves. It's pretty amazing that it's in our own facility. Unfortunately, our youth cannot perform in the theater space, but here they are today for you to watch and get a little glimpse of what they do.
Yes, and so let's introduce them. And the people stayed home. Coming at you.
Outer space, 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 outer space.
People stayed home and questioned and thought and saw and cried and sobbed and stopped. When someone began to breathe, Someone didn't know what to do. Someone saw the light. Someone embraced the gray. And people looked at TV and people just played games. And in the absence of human connection, even the loneliest began to heal. And when the worst ended and stilled, they grieved for their friends and tried and played.
And people stayed home, and people laughed, and people separated, and people cried, and people started to learn, and people started to get lonely, and people started to realize it's their fault, and people suffered. Someone tried running, someone stopped to think, someone just quit, someone threw blame, some know it, and people watched, and people argued. In the absence of school, we lost knowledge. Even the smallest of animals need time to heal. And when the suffering ended and gave us great wisdom, but some still died. So we gave time for each other to grieve for the lost souls. And when our crisis finished, we went to go eat. And when we finally were set free, we find a new way to trap ourselves. And it's good that we Mother Earth to rest and heal. And in the end, it was kind of our fault.
And people stayed home, and I walked to food for less and tried to catch the deals of the bread. And I hear the desolate echoes of Memo's foreign melodies as he once yelled, Elotes! And I feel jaded. And the senoras glare outside, pondering of what used to be. And they get a sweet nostalgic feeling as they smell pan dulce being made. And they feel empty because someone's lost their job. Someone's losing their brain. They can't pay their bills. Someone's slowly going deranged. Don't tell me how to feel, fool. Someone's inside with their abuser. No empathy. And people find light in the darkness, and people feel hope in what they started. And in the absence of money, even they feel wealthy amongst love and use it to heal. And when the doubt and fear ended, community rose up and said, enough is enough. And they didn't grieve for the old versions because they wanted a fight. And relief funds were created, and the hood felt the sweet love, and community became unity. And folks came together to support because the moon has our backs. We are not alone. We rise up like a tortilla. We will overcome this.
And people stayed home and take this time to reflect on themselves and finally started to water that flower, making them want to buy more plants and learn how to cook new flavors or bake new tastings and explore the different genres there is in music and making them want to dance or sing and take this time to get closer with their family, making memories and created decorations for their homes and thinking really hard and not going back to normal. Normal is what got us to this point. Someone learned something new, filled their brain with knowledge. Someone felt the strong support from the community, allowing comfort to fall back on. And someone shared their new dance moves with others. Someone started to learn who they really are. And people started to learn more about their roots. And people started bonding and being more creative than ever. And in the absence of so-called freedom, not being able to go out, even the most hard-headed people and those who don't express their emotions started to heal. And when the feeling of never lasting time ended, and everyone changed their routine and had to adapt to the new needed change, grief for the past that will never be brought back, and started new bonds, connections, and bridges, and ended for guilt, pain, and negativity, and bringing awareness to those who are fighting for us every day and impacting every single one of us in some way.
And people stayed home, and they learned to love in new ways they never thought possible. And some cried an endless river of tears, and fought the anxieties in their minds with swords of soul, and gave into nature's glimmering calls, and grew like they never thought possible, and gave to those who had nothing. Someone didn't make it. Someone went to sleep hungry, hollow. Someone, despite this, hoped. Someone dreamed of galaxies beyond, and people began to heal. And people saw truth that was blinded to them before. And in the absence of light, even the broken began to heal. And when the isolation ended and we went out, they grieved for the souls and cheered with endless content and laughed until they couldn't contain themselves no more and became whole. And someone was never the same.
And people stayed home and argued and fought, and doctors go out to continue their jobs. And some people lived while some people died, and some people kept quiet inside. And if moms went out with their children, they'd get judging glares. And many people began to take time to think about what would happen next instead of now. Someone laughed and played, someone cried and prayed, someone broke inside, someone tried to find the bright side. and people loved and people hated, and in the absence of overwhelming destruction, even the air began to heal. And when separation ended, and the people rejoiced, they grieved for their loved ones whose touch they had missed, and some will continue to miss. And these people mourned, and they knew of all the change, and how their world wouldn't be exactly the same.
And people stayed home and slept for many hours and watched movies and cooked some food and played with their pets and played with their siblings and probably tried making DIY crafts. Someone relaxed, someone prayed, someone went outside for a little air because it was hot inside their house. Someone tried doing something so they are not bored. And people thought differently with ideas, and people began to draw or paint a sunset. Even the sun began to form a beautiful sunset, and people went outside their houses to see the sunset color, and people watched the sunset go down. And people slept and did the same things over and over again since they have nothing to do, and people tried to at least go somewhere where less people go, and people just stayed home and watched Netflix and be on the phone all day.
And yes, people stay home and play games and listen to music and stuff. And there's some exercise. Someone who did some meditation, someone who relaxed, someone who stay focused and actually did their things. And people wouldn't think negative thoughts because then they were going to have a bad day. I mean, bad attitude, or would even look mad by their face that they want to hurt you, and they make their own choice and what they can do to fix their attitude, and maybe just go to your room and watch a show or a movie on Netflix so you could calm down and be able to talk to people when you're ready.
And people stayed home. And people stayed home. Global warming was never an issue, and laughed together about old memories, and bumped music till the night was young, and would lay down only looking at screens, and would hear the newborn baby cry because it was time for milk, and endless smells of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Someone prayed to reach the heaven gates. Someone cried for forgiveness. Someone looked mad with red eyes. Someone was gone like a dream someone had. And people cried about the sound, but it sounded like laughter. And people ran to each other at the end of the tunnel. In the absence of them, people were sad. Even the dog needed to heal. And when the mass was ended, people were gone and sang someone to spend time with by los retros. Grief for the ones that needed the most, and sweet as my heart, and I feel a sun's heat when someone is fighting to defeat, and it's just now making me fall asleep.
People stayed home, wondering if there's something more than just their home. And many people stayed home not even though they did not like staying home. And many played video games, and most kids and adults missed school. Kids missed their teachers. Adults miss leaving the kids just for a little while. I mean, while they go to school. And many people took breaths. And most people made new memories, and people baked goodies. Someone is caring for you, trying to wipe your tears away. Someone is putting their home away. Someone is doing yoga. Someone is home laughing, but know deep down that they're sad and want to cry.
And people stayed home, and they were forced to slow down. It was hard to process and accept this truth. And they began to realize that this situation is real. And all of a sudden, it became crystal clear. And they took a deep breath, and they began to reflect. And they closed their eyes, built their altar, turned on the sage, grabbed the rosario, prayed, and asked for another day. Someone is paranoid, scrubbing the house away. Someone is lost, reaching into their most inner, darkest thoughts. Someone is thinking about death. Someone is screaming their minds, will I live another day? I just want to play. Someone is trying to fight for the rest. Someone doesn't realize that this is just a test that needs to be passed in one's nest. Someone needs to heal so that they can be at their very best. Yes, this is a test, and do not stress. We will survive because we are the best of the best. Do not forget that you are a warrior. You were born to survive and thrive. When you are down, look up. Keep your head up, wipe those tears, Smile, échate un taco de frijoles porque somos los mejores. Sí se puede.
And people stayed home and found themselves alone, and practiced and played and continued to try harder, and focused to keep calm and trying not to be paranoid. And the world outside is destroyed. Someone didn't know, and someone broke the rules. Someone might be killed, and someone and the family won't be thrilled. And people bought everything they can, and people were trapped inside. And the absence of even people who were suffering, and even when the pandemic ended, people were still insane. And they were still crushed up in a corner, scared for life. Grief for someone to do something about this horror. And maybe some people thrived. And because of all the food taken away, someone could have starved for one whole day. And it all started just because of a small creature.
People panicked, and people ignored, and people stressed, and then calmed, and were bored, and some thought, and some reflected. Someone cried, someone smiled, someone was productive, someone was not. And people read, and people played games and laughed. And in the absence of ignorant people, even the world began to heal. And when the pandemic ended and everything came back to normal, grief for the people, and people had a change in mentality, and people had different choice, and the world began to change, and soon it became the new normal.
And people started to and people stared to the bright blue sky and imagined the beautiful times we all went outside. And it was frustrating to just sit around. And it felt like many years has passed along and it didn't feel right and the things weren't right and we all had to settle down. Someone chose wrong, someone had to make it right. Someone without any knowledge, someone with who had to go through the struggle and people didn't see him and people stepped on him. And the absence of even the choice to heal and the hard challenges ended and started on hard mode once again. Grieved for the overthinking hard days, and it's supposed to be a happy ending. And the sunset lover just came to mind and stayed in peace for a bit. And everybody has different ways to see everything.
And people stayed home, and there were people dying, and people crying, and people mourning their loved ones, and praying that they see them again. And there were people celebrating the birth of their child, and kids were saying their first words. Someone just passed away. Someone was just born. Someone stole some food. Someone just donated, and people misjudge each other, and people are acting out of fear. And in the absence of hope, even kids are losing hope for their future. To heal from this, we must all be there for each other. And even when this poem ends, and people like go back to grieving their loved ones, li- life will move on.
I see an empty park. I can feel the sorrow of everyone cowering from this virus. I can hear the children playing and trying to make the best out of this crisis. I can feel the smoothness of my dog's paw on my face. I can smell the fresh ceviche coming from downstairs.
I see a cold yet calm blue wall. I taste the sweet hard Pop Tarts. I feel the anxiety that I don't show. I hear calmness within us and sudden disturbances. I smell nothing but warm, stuffy air inside.
I hear my alarm loud and clear, playing the theme song of my favorite anime early in the morning. I look outside and see the streets empty. All I hear is the sound of the wind going through the trees while the sun is slowly rising. As I get up, I can feel the cold on my skin, giving me the chills. I walk to the restroom, ready to brush my teeth to get rid of that nasty morning breath I taste in my mouth. I grab my clothes with a tight grip and get ready for school. As I am leaving, I take a breath, admiring the silence and only hearing the birds chirping. What would I do without my 5 cents?
It looks round but smooth. It looks firm but simple. It sounds like a crack. It smells like happiness. It tastes like flashbacks of memory.
I see the days on my wall, passing with no avail. Another red tick etched into my mind. It's a blurry haze, raw, burning edges I wish to forget. And in my bones, I feel how I've drifted away. Looking back isn't an option. You can't undo its mark. The tick keeps going. Looking up is only an option. I see the ocean on its front, with waters as smooth as jazz, gentle like a mother's caressing her child, as rough as a goddess of storm. A breath of fresh air. It's peaceful, just me and the sound of the waves lapping up against the shore. I carry the loneliness in the way the ocean carries sand, sinking to the bottom of my soul. And now it's time for another day, another tick to mark in the calendar of life. We can't stop. We can only wait for the tomorrow that glitters in the sunlight like a treasure.
It smells like waking up at 7 in the morning to go help your jefita wash. It tastes like love without reason. Like, hey, lunch on me, fool. It looks like canela sticks. It has the ability to dismantle your senses, pause, make you shake, like you've been here before. Nostalgia. It smells like divinity, and up from the skies, heaven was embraced. And the smoke cured your soul. It told cuentos from your ancestors, and it made dirty laundry smell good.
It's another humid night, sintiendo el calor, pero la noche está calmada. In my oven room, in the spring starting to feel more like summer. Queriendo de irme de mi casa a una fiesta. Looking at the white empty page, I decided to grab a sharpened pencil, starting to write a poem, mi poesía, expresando partes de mi vida. For inspiration, I started lighting up candles around my room, calmando mi desesperación del calor. Dimming the lights while hearing a mix of corridos and R&B to get in the mood. De vez en cuando bailando. Smelling a little bit of my warm coffee, que no está tan caliente o frío. As I'm writing my stories that I'm somehow showcasing, taking a bite of my sweet bread, a conchita, saboreando mejor en mi café, writing my poetry sin forzarme.
Cockatiel bird. It smells like maple pancake syrup. It sounds like a whistle blowing in the air and echoes through my ears. It feels soft yet rough, but mostly soft like fluffy tail. It looks like beautiful bright colors of gray, yellow, and white, but I wouldn't like to taste it. If I did, I think it would taste like seed.
I wake up to dim sunlight seeping through the two windows in my room. I take a moment to just lay comfortably on my not so comfortable bed. Sheets are messy and stuffed animals take up space, but my favorite part are the two fuzzy blankets that cover me in a soft comfort. I like to trace my finger over the soft patterns in blue and gold. I stand up and my bare feet touch the frigid floor. I inhale warm air and exhale. I only just realize how gross my breath tastes and smells. I get distracted and walk to my dresser. The paint on it was dark brown and messy. Even lumps were easily felt, and the scent was like plastic. I smell the sweet scent of pancakes wafting in the air, and I hear the scrape and sizzling on the pan which my mom uses to make breakfast, and walk downstairs and rush to the source of food. My plate waits on the table, and on it lies 3 pancakes, surrounded in red strawberries. I imagine the sour taste mixing with the sweetness of condensed milk. I sit, eating, and the food leaves me with the familiarity of love and home.
I taste the fresh bread, fresh made out of the oven. I taste my daddy's carne asada. I taste my grandma's cooking. I taste the mole that's fresh made. I taste my grandma's number one. I taste my mom's number one cake. I smell my dog every single day. I smell my dad every single day. I smell my mom every single day. I smell my grandpa and I smell my grandma. I hear my dog bark. I hear many other dogs bark. I hear my perita chirp every single day. I hear the woodpecker peck on some wood. I hear the wheels of my mom's chair when she tries to earn some money for the house. I feel the table that I usually write my poems on, bumpy but also flat. I feel my slime that's fluffy and very stretchy. I feel my puppy's hat that is bumpy that has open holes that look like Michael Jackson. I feel the way my bed is made. A bunk bed that has an extra space for me to play. I feel the kitchen utensils, how some are pointy and some are smooth. I smell the way when I see the way my puppy loves to. I see the way my puppy loves to shower my dog. I see the way my puppy throws the football. I see the way my grandpa always tries to clean his car even though there's nothing to clean. I see my mom try to clean every single day.
That planta de Chile, you look so sad. Look like no one has sang to you in a while and given you an authentic smile. You are lopsided, waiting very patiently and demonstrating your resiliency. I promise that as soon as I am done with this meeting, I will provide you something to lean on. I know that it would be worth it. Those tostadas de camarón y caldo de pollo with your hot sweet taste is proof of it.
This is called Hustle On. I'm independent but my own but still got time for everyone else. Your favorite empath will twist me with the words. Always on the go, will do anything for those been through the storm but can withstand some more. I never hesitate for my students and I can prove it. Y'all the future and I salute you. We got Brittany full of life, full of warmth, full of triumph. The universe has your back, keep going, look high up. Johnny with the beats, huge heart, so funny. Outspoken like the sun, he real sunny. Alejandro, sad boy, you're the stars, beautiful soul. Oldies for the books, Pachuco for the looks. Nuvia, keep your head up high, never low. Your smile inspires, and just like your name means gold, I want you to know you're hella dope. Jay the Kid, your beats got heat. Never give up, live, love, and never stop. Reach your dreams, Chris. Your existence is resistance. The galaxies come correct when you crack. You're genuine in every way, you don't hold back. Leslie, sweet, caring, respectful, makes the world a better place like a hummingbird, so gentle. Asiel, very eloquent, expressive, effervescent. Keep going, keep shining, go for me on deck. Please send checks. Haley, and all in all artists, colorful. Thank you for always asking me how I be. You're so sweet and caring. Cassandra, Virgo to the core, humble AF. I know you will accomplish all your goals. Don't let doubt hold you. You're amazing, hella talented too. Abraham, you are enough. I see you, we see you like Godzilla, you a killer. Itzel, Josue, Jose, and Alberto. Last but not least, remember, y'all can be both soft and fierce. Yes, they can coexist and still be powerful. Y'all the earth. Your entities will come every hurdle, will overcome every hurdle. Y'all hustle on and remember, we need a little rain to grow. You got Alina, Pancho, Javi, Louis, Armando, company of angels. We your mentors. We believe in you because you are able. We got your backs, Legacy L.A. Dream big, it's the vision. Keep writing, use it as a tool to heal, learn, and grow. Become the best versions of you. Hard work pays off, I promise, because y'all are tortillas hechas a mano. And with that, los quiero tanto.
Whoa! Wow. I had to clean couple tears there. That was beautiful. So those poems were written by the Legacy youth participants that you saw at the start of the video during quarantine, through Zoom sessions throughout the weeks. And the last poems were sort of, the first poem was a poem inspired by another poem called And People Stayed Home. And the second poems were five senses, what they see in their surroundings, what they hear, what they see, the entire five senses. And today we're going to be actually joined with everything that's going on. We're still collaborating with the youth, and they've written some of their own pieces. And today, I think we have Brittany and Alex that will be joining us. Alex is still figuring out the camera, but we may be able to hear him if his camera doesn't work. But first, I want to bring out one of the participants, and that is Brittany. Hi, Brittany. Is it Brittany? Oh.
Hi, guys.
I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Awesome. So Brittany's going to share.
Hi.
Yes, so you're going to share a poem with us today, right? All right. I'll remove myself and you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, so my name is Brittany, and this poem is called Invisible Cries for Help. Getting by day to day, night to night, wondering, will I make it another day? Will I be able to afford to get by this week? Will I have a home? You are either born into it or live around it, and maybe, just maybe, you allow it to eat you up. It gets hard. I get it. It's hard to up a level when you don't have support. Careful on the road. In order to get your support, might get on the wrong road. This is America, so unless you got green, you don't got anything. Needing help, asking for it, you're put on hold. A list filled with many others in the same place as you. Many people looking at their city while putting them on hold. Ends up not knowing where to go. Those buildings so high up, making people think they are too. While passing by the communities exposed to this lack of attention to the people, then being surprised by these so-called nobodies, thugs, and criminals. They can care less about people being on hold until there's a conversation. Then somehow they say the work is in progress. Truth be told, it's on hold because money over people, property over people. Some of us are privileged in many ways, even when we don't think so. How deep am I in the ditch? Truth be told, we're on our own. Every day you try to move forward, survive, help, fight, and just breathe. You're on your own. Every day you should help one another get by, live through it all my life. Amount of the stress in people's lives, cries that don't want to be on the spotlight. When you're at this level with the family, there's a greater fear of how deep am I in this ditch. Somehow the parents start becoming machines, and the oldest child is not a child no more, while they help maintain the family, or as an only child starts being a lonely child. It's easier to get deeper into the hole, and worse to get out, until there's a real conversation being held and not invisible cries for help without the truth being told. And that is it.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'm not sure that Alex is able to hear. It's probably Alex, can we hear you? You're on mute. You're muted. So I'll try to wait right now. But thank you so much. As we mentioned, these were sessions that were done in the start of quarantine, sort of like in March, all the way to May. These were pre-recorded culmination performance of spoken word poetry written by Legacy youth participants. Sort of the prompt was, and people stayed home, and sort of describing everything that is going on. For those who don't know, a lot of the youth in our community were still going to school, college and high school, middle school, borrowing computers and stuff like that. And the work that we do at Legacy L.A. Is connected. That is our home base. If you've been to Company of Angels' new home, that is where we're located. I think Alex. Can you hear me? Alex. So, Alex, there you are. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, all right. Sorry about that, man. Okay, so I was just talking about it. So, Alex is going to share a little poem. So whenever you're ready, Alex.
Hello? It's because it's lagging and I can't hear you guys. Wow.
That's okay. Just start it.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No?
Yes. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna just start.
Yeah.
So if I had one wish, it wouldn't be wealth. It would be to love ourselves. Because every day we'd be killing a million of dreams. No need to disrespect, but I'm speaking the truth. Living in a world filled with fools, wondering if there's another day to see. We keep it G, cause that all we can do. Bumping oldies is like a drug I need. Spacing out above the stars, thinking we should sit around and laugh, but you're too far. Loving the way you laugh and smile so hard. Please don't let go of your dreams. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Alex. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Probably can't hear me. It's going to be delayed. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, that is all. If I find that we had another participant that was going to join us for the live reading of it, if we'll wait a couple minutes. But I was mentioning the prompts were everything that was going on during the quarantine, and we hope to continue this work with everything that's going on with the protests, with the Black Lives Matter movement. We hope that our youth are out there. And if you're watching, thank you so much. The beat at the start was by Jordan Munoz. He was making the beats and was part of the process of making the beat during the workshop through Zoom. So you can check them out. And we'll have that. It'll be live on our YouTube page, and we'll also be posting it on our Facebook so you can watch the entire video and hear the beat again. So this is, for the past weeks, the youth met developing their own creative works of spoken word that combined the topics of equality, peace, freedom, unity, change, family, culture, language, social justice, community, and love. And that is what Company of Angels and Legacy L.A. do together to support each other's work. My name is Javi. I'm signing out. Thank you so much. Peace.